So one killer, you pray for us before we move on. So
Well, Father, I thank you for today. Lord, that we get to be here together, that we get to learn more of our history. Lord, I pray that you would help all of us have an open heart and mind to what you may be telling us through this lesson, and help us learn an important piece of history that we will remember forever, Lord. I pray that you would help all of us understand our readings and understand it much deeper than just reading it. And I pray this in Jesus' name.
in Jesus' name. That's 11:7. I see that all day through yesterday. Yesterday was November
7.
3. Got it. Let's look at the map. Kayla, can you point us where Austin is?
Oh, a minute, I gotta go back.
Yeah. Where's your book? Don't have books still? There we go. Austin. See Austin? Okay. Do you see San Juan Quinto? San Juan Quinto. Do you see Benji? Can you point San Antonio?
Right under it.
Okay. Okay. Can you find Gulf Mexico? Everybody find the Gulf Mexico with me? Okay. Do you see Washington D.C.?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see the Mexico as a nation? Okay. Do you see Pacific Ocean there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you see Mexico City there? Yeah. Okay. Good. Do you see the Mexican holdings piece of land sold to the U.S. in which year? 1848. Am I right? So okay. Good. Got the location. When you learn history, if history events happen, you always want to find a map to know exactly where locations are, right? So yeah. So let's read this. Kayla, I want you to read the first.
We read this
the
chapter.
first portion of this
Yeah.
chapter.
The second part called the Mexican-American War, am I right? So yeah.
I thought we were restarting the chapter.
That's okay. Yeah, you read on the first 2 pages. Yeah.
Santa Anna was angry. The Mexican state of Texas was filled with American settlers who refused to obey him. His army had captured San Antonio, but towns all over the north of Texas were filled with Sam Houston's men.
Sam Houston, Maine.
If they fight against me, Santa Anna snarled, I will cut them to pieces. I will march all the way to Washington and plant a flag of Mexico there.
You would think it's impossible those days. I mean, you remember those days, American was a new nation, right? Don't have a lot of population either. So,
Santa Anna never marched an army to Washington, but the fight with Texas would soon turn into a much bigger fight. A war with the whole United States. Santa Anna's army marched from San Antonio further into Texas, where Sam Houston waited at the town of San Jacinto.
Waukegan. Waukegan, am I? Benji? Waukegan, am I? Huh? Jacinto. I'm sorry. Jacinto. Yeah, Jacinto. Yeah. So go ahead.
San Jacinto. With 900 men. Less than a month after the Alamo fell, Santa Anna camped less than a mile away from Sam Houston's army.
San Anna. Good.
He didn't think that the ragged Texas soldiers were much of a threat. He didn't even post watchmen at the edge of the camp. Instead, the Mexican soldiers lay down for their unusual afternoon nap, called siesta.
Sister. Yeah. It's so funny about Spanish people, man. Oh, we have nap, right?
Yeah.
Official map. 4 meals a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. 4
Well, there's
meals.
one like at 3:30 and it's called
Yeah.
La Merienda.
Yeah.
It's like a snack.
I want to tell something. You read very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a lot improvement. Obvious. So, yeah, you never read this before, right?
I have read it before, but I
Read before,
well,
but
somebody had read it to me in a class that I didn't
read very good. So, yeah, improving, like me. Go ahead.
Houston soldiers burst from the trees nearby. Mounted Texas soldiers. Oh my gosh, let me read. Say that. Mounted Texas soldiers thundered through into the camp, firing their guns. Sleepy, startled Mexicans scrambled for their weapons, but it was too late. In 18 minutes, the Texans had killed 700 Mexican soldiers and captured 700 more. Santa Anna himself, surprised in his tent, was under guard. The Mexicans surrendered. Most of them repeated over and over, "No Alamo, no Alamo." They did not want the Texans to think they had taken apart the siege of the Alamo. They might be killed at once. Sam Houston ordered the prisoners
Spared.
Thank you. Santa Anna was forced to sign a treaty recognizing Texans as an independent republic. Then he sent underguard to Washington, where the President Andrew Jackson met him. What if the United States were to buy Texas from Mexico? Andrew Jackson suggested. Then the fight between Texans and Mexico would stop. Santa Anna agreed, and that this might be a good plan. But the rest of Mexico didn't agree. Mexicans claimed that Santa Anna didn't have the permission to sell Texas, but he didn't even have permission to sign the treaty to give Texas its independence. Texas still belonged to Mexico.
Yeah, they still hold grudge, heavily grudge. I talked to some Mexicans. They was, hey, you guys, took away. Anyway.
The Americans politely sent Santa Anna back to Mexico and ignored these objections. The citizens of the new Republic of Texas went on behaving like an independent nation. They voted to approve their constitution and elected Sam Houston president. Sorry, I just lost my place.
It's okay.
For his new government. Sam Houston had a single wooden building in Austin, Texas. Texas didn't even have enough money to buy firewood to heat the office.
Yeah. It's basically a place by the river, right? So.
He didn't have enough money to pay a regular army. And he knew that if Mexico attacked again, Texas might as well lose. The solution was simple. Join the United States. If Texas became a state, all the U.S. Army would march to its defense. Many Texans were anxious to give up their brand new independence. And not everyone in Washington wanted Texas to join the United States. Americans who opposed slavery and pointed out that Texas would be a slave-owning state. Texas was so huge that once it became a state, the slave-holding areas of the United States would
More than double. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. More than double.
Oh, you done?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
I have a sentence. Other objects that Texans were rough, crude, violent troublemakers. We are troublemakers. Go ahead. Finish the rest. Mhm.
But after 10 years of arguing, the people of the Republic of Texas finally voted to join the United States, and the United States Congress agreed to accept them.
Mhm.
Be it resolved, Congress wrote on March 1st, 1845.
Remember your mind. You'll be tested in maybe March 1, March the 1st, 1845.
That a state to be formed out of the present Republic of Texas, with 2 representatives in Congress, shall be admitted into the Union on an equal footing with the existing states.
Okay, I want you to repeat after me a little bit, okay, in your mind list. But after 10 years of arguing, the people of the Republic of Texas finally voted to join the United States. And United States Congress agreed to accept them. Be it resolved, Congress wrote on March the 1st, 1845, that a state to be formed out of the present Republic of Texas, with 2 representatives in Congress, shall be admitted into the Union on an equal footing with the existing states. And the key is to breaking down the meaning clusters, right? So, I'm not saying you're doing bad thing. I'm talking about you can read more expressively, right? So, go ahead.
At once, the Mexicans protested that the United States had stolen their land. Bands of Mexican and American soldiers roamed along the border between Texas and Mexico, shooting at each other.
Shooting at each other.
Finally, the United States declared war in Mexico. This war would do more than claim Texas.
Yes.
The United States planned to drive Mexico out of North America altogether.
What are you laughing at? Laughing at me?
No.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Mexico still claimed to own land to the north and west of the old Texas Republic. The United States would capture this territory too. We must march from Texas straight to the Pacific Ocean, the congressman exclaimed.
It's very ambitious, huh?
The young congressman from Illinois disagreed. Abraham Lincoln had not served in Congress for very long, but when the United States Army reached over the Mexican border,
Marched
headed
over.
toward marched over the Mexican border, headed toward Mexico City, Abraham Lincoln objected. It was wrong, he said, to send an army into the East Coast.
Harmony.
Harmony.
Yeah, that's what I said. And to the midst.
You just start the giggler. Start giggling.
Okay.
Sorry. Have a light heart, eh? You learn something, you can enjoy it while learning. So.
Into the midst of a peaceful Mexican settlement, frightening the inhabitants away, leaving their growing crops and other property to destruction. Lincoln and other protesters were outvoted.
How old is Lincoln by this time? Anybody have any idea?
What time?
What year is it?
This made the speech in Congress.
I have no idea.
Approximately, let's see.
In his 70s or so. Yeah?
70 some years already in this time?
Because,
Ah,
yeah, I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
50s? Guess. 10? That's a good guess.
I agree with like in the 50s or something.
50s?
40.
40? That's approximately.
He didn't become
He's
president
less
after he
than,
was.
I believe we can bet on it. I can actually launch. I think it's less than
I said-
35 years old.
Less than 35.
Yeah, I think like 30s.
Less than 35. I think it's only around 30 years old. So. Yeah. Let me calculate. He was 22. He became a lawyer. Almost. So is then he elected to Congress about another 3 years. So he's less than 30. around 30.
Less
And
than
most is
30.
32. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Link is a very, very smart person. So he live in Springfield for about less than 5 years. He was then elected to Congress. So yeah, he's around 30. So. Go ahead.
United States soldiers fought their way toward Mexico City. Santa Anna had been living quietly on a country farm in Cuba, disgraced by his defeat in Texas. But now he decided to return to Mexico. He rode through the country, begging Mexicans to follow him once more. "Once you called me soldier of the people," he shouted. "Allow me to take that title again, and I will devote myself till death to the defense of our liberty and independence." The Mexican army poured out to meet Santa Anna and acclaimed him as their leader. As the Americans drew close to Mexico City, Santa Anna prepared to meet them at a village nearby. He ordered his soldiers to dig trenches and build barriers around 3 sides of the Mexican camp.
That's good.
But he decided that no army could manage to cross the high hills behind the army, so he left those hills undefended.
That's going to be a mistake, all right?
The general commanding the United States soldiers at once sent a young captain named Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee. Who knows anything about Robert E. Lee?
I've heard the name before.
Yeah, I've heard his name. I probably learned about him somewhere. I just don't remember.
Nothing? You got terrible historians.
Yeah.
I remember his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert E. Lee was the leading general for the Southern Confederate Army, right? So,
Wasn't he in the Civil War? Or was he?
yeah, Civil War. So yeah. So this
Now I remember.
just starting, he learned reputation through this war, become a famous general leading the army. Then go ahead.
A young captain named Robert E. Lee to climb those hills.
Mm-hmm.
Lee built a system of posts and ropes that the Americans could use to haul their cannons and ammunition up to the hilltops.
Mm.
The next morning, the Americans attacked Santa Anna's army from all sides at once. Santa Anna was forced to call a retreat. With American soldiers pouring through the streets of Mexico City, the Mexican Congress agreed to sign a peace treaty, as long as the United States paid the Mexican government for the land it was losing. In 1848, the United States paid Mexico $15 million. In return, Mexico gave up Texas and another piece of land, where California, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, Wyoming, and part of New Mexico now lie. A few years later, the United States paid Mexico another $10 million for the rest of New Mexico. The Mexican-American War was finally over, and the United States of America now held most of the land it owns today.
That's a lot of land.
Yep.
If we don't have this war, we can't live in California, right? So,
Yeah.
Anybody go to any of these states? California, Nevada? Have anybody to Nevada?
I went to Miami.
Wyoming?
I think I've
Okay.
been to all of those places.
What?
Wait,
Oh,
let
you're a
me read them
traveler.
again to make sure.
Oh. You been to Utah?
Yes, Nevada,
Um,
Utah, Arizona,
And
Wyoming.
Nevada.
Yeah. I've never been to New Mexico.
New
That's the only
Mexico. Okay, I've been to New Mexico. It's dry, terrible place. Not worth 10 minutes. That's
not,
terrible
yeah.
joke. Okay. Yeah.
No war is worth it.
No wars. Okay, we're gonna wrap up today, and I want to do some with the remaining time, which is still a long time. Come to query certain things. So yeah, have a discussion about history or something else. Yeah. It's one of the things impressed me is Elaine this morning we talking about she overheard our conversation about grammar, right? So she said You know, it's very important for her to know the importance of learn grammar. So may I ask you guys, have you guys learned anything about grammar
Yeah.
in your schooling process? You know,
are doing a grammar
you grammar guy. So you don't need me to pitch in to teach you grammar or anything, right? So you're good at it.
Of course,
You're good at it.
necessarily good at it.
Okay. There's a little book I want you to write it down called The Little Browns.
Little what?
Yeah, Little Browns. I'm gonna show you. They have different versions.
Apologies don't count.
Hey, you said I could have one for you.
I'm happy so bad.
I did not. You're done.
I'll let you go.
I'm not gonna let you go. This has been days. You've done it a lot. So this is gonna be extra bad.
This is my textbook. See? Called The Little Browns Handbook. I don't think you might want to get the latest version. Really doesn't matter. Okay? You can take a picture of that book. So it's a thick book, but it more than teaching grammar, teaching you how to do good writing. Okay? So they have questions. I think even furnished with answers. It's a very good book. So but I don't think you want me to be your English teacher, so
No.
yeah, that book is good, English teacher. So
Sweet, thank you.
I took a picture. Do you know? Anybody know?
I wrote it down.
You wrote it down. Okay, I highly. There's a certain book you want to invest, am I? To benefit the rest of your life.
Right.
So this is one of the book I highly recommend to have it handy with you. You always pick up a little bit and to read it. I mean, you want to be a good writer and invest something about improving the quality of your writing, and right? So this is the books you want to go about. Okay, so they can send to you guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you know, the writing has to do with reading. You know, stuff like that. So. And the other thing you might want to begin to practice is read loud, you know, so read loud help you to articulate, read loud help you to be a more confident speaker as well. Read loud, you know, the human mind built differently. When you speak, it's attitude of mind in a way that is not merely through visual facilitating the reading information. You actually go through a different kind of a channel, attitude a different way of your brain to absorb and process information. Okay, so listening, reading, then read loud those things. You know, if you know a good book to read the Bible. I mean, read aloud. So that helped me with my English tremendously with reading. You guys' English is pretty good, but I'm talking about to be an effective communicator, you got to know how to write good, how to speak good, right? So, and I'm not good. I heard somebody said, team is the best.
You did a lot of reading out loud, that's for sure.
He did?
Yeah, I think
He
you did a lot
do?
of presentation stuff.
Oh, he read aloud? Yeah. I read aloud all the time. So most books I read aloud because I'm so bad with my English. So
I think you're pretty good.
Yeah.
getting there. So, super lack of confidence. So basically that's basically some notes for you guys, you know, to learn. I want you guys, everyone grow out to be a very good writer, right? So with the history, I want you guys comment the first thing. In the beginning, we talk about which book to go about. I have open discussion with some of your parents. That time you were not here, you got not here, so I did discuss that. I think with Rachel a little bit, you know. So far, we have not doing some general discussion. I think take the opportunity to do some general discussion. The first is this book is good? Still like this book? You know, somebody said he read many times. You're not tired about it?
I think we should finish it because we should
Oh.
finish what we started. But like,
Okay.
I think we should
I think
definitely.
he's talking about something to do after, so continue, because they have other books.
I don't think we should
So
continue
yeah,
to store
maybe we
it
should do.
in this curriculum anymore.
Yeah. They have another book.
They do?
You
Another
do? That's
series,
a for,
it's,
do you want to do that one as well?
I don't.
We
but
You
could.
don't? Okay.
I'm just.
We
It's
have all
in my
stuff.
opinion. I think we should find.
We should find
A
better
different
books.
curriculum,
Okay.
'cause, like,
yeah.
I don't know. And it seems like you have in times not really enjoyed this book at times.
It's,
right?
it's a good storybook, you know, it's good, but the information is
Maybe-
more contingent on a particular scenario in the history.
Maybe
so
we
that-
should like you just said, like maybe this goes everywhere. Maybe we should do something that like focuses on one thing. Like this is a history of like everything. What if we
Right.
focused on the history of something specific?
Yeah, I really like that. History, my village. And that tree. I'm joking. Yeah, well, that can be a lot of subject, right?
Mm-hmm.
And which one you like to read? That's very good because that give you opportunity to study a different subject. Don't have to be stick with one subject all the
Yeah, we
time.
want more information.
Yeah. Study it, maybe write an essay a little bit with
Yeah.
those things. Is that
Maybe we
do
can
some of
even
your
pick
little
something
own research, all right?
From here,
So
yeah, from
Like
Yeah.
do something like on maybe do it on like ancient China or like.
Asian, oh, I know a lot about Chinese history.
So yeah,
That might be
because
a
then
good
you
subject.
because then you
Yeah.
can teach it and you're with the book and in your own way because you know a lot about it still.
Oh, you want to learn Chinese history?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two history on it already. You guys want to continue the book. Me and Noah going to study as well. Topics. One is American founding history, right? Everybody interested. I think Kayla and Justin really like American history, American founding history. The other way to look around is actually zooming into one person to study one person's life a little bit. So a lot like a biography, right? You don't have to stick with one. You don't have to read everything about the biography, but you can absolutely study a person, you know, in general research a person's life, right? So just stick with one biography. I don't compel you to stick with one. We can do some list recommendations to study. Like Abraham Lincoln, everybody want to know Abraham Lincoln. Right? I want to know more about Washington, you know, so I really want to read that. And another person I want to know is I've been reading on Supreme Court, history, Constitution, everything. Yeah. Yeah. So
I don't know what the book series is called, but I'm reading a book about Martha Washington. It's really good in the way they word it out.
Martha Washington's wife, am I? So
It's really good. They do a lot of different people, like a lot of presidents and a bunch of different important people. I don't have the book with me right now, but that's a really good series that I like. If you're wanting to do history.
only under one person. Not everyone.
Yeah, it is one person. The book is one person, but
One person,
they
okay.
make more on
Yeah,
different people.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. You guys have special notes? You want another notebook to transfer along? That's joking. Yeah, that's good. So now, what do you think of my teaching style? I mean, my teaching style had contingent on this book, am I? So contingent that you guys good students or not. So smile or not. I like it when smiling. I don't mind you giggling. I do mind you crying. Yeah. So no, that's a query I want to really hear. Do you have any suggestions, comments, or especially criticisms about the way how I teach? You know, so they're, being real now.
I think it'd be interesting to learn just one subject. Like
One
that, just-
subject, okay. You have some in your mind?
Not really. I'm
Okay.
just thinking that it would be a little bit.
It was good.
Yeah.
Okay. You can teach us
I
Spanish.
think it might maybe be easier.
Spanish, no
Testing.
Spanish. Yeah, yeah.
Testing too.
Oh yeah.
I think
Testing
it might be
Easier.
easier
because-
for testing
For testing, yeah,
because
yeah.
we're not like
Yeah, scatter
going
around.
through
Yeah,
so
that's
many
difficult. Yeah.
different parts.
Hmm. Very good point.
We could probably read more chapters instead of stopping every 5 if we were focused on one person.
That's you want to do one person, okay?
Yeah, if we focused on one
okay,
person or one
yeah.
subject.
Or when you went, am I? One
Yeah,
subject.
some
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it probably won't work like that because the way if we do it in a different curriculum, there might not just be a 5-chapter.
I don't
or
think
whatever.
we're gonna have curriculum going on at that time.
So yeah, maybe we won't do
I'm
even
just,
chapters at all.
You know, we just do
figure
some
out
research,
time.
right? So bring our own presentation here. Study.
That would
You
be
know,
fun.
yeah, you can read your own thing, present your own thing. I don't necessarily have to teach you whatever on the book, you know, or narrow down the particular, tell you how to do study actually. Tell you to do your own research, right? Or to evaluate a situation, you know. So maybe look at the certain measure, study that where you went, share some comment. Why Washington did that, eh? What's happened? Why there's war breakouts for that? You know, so must have said, "Hey, the war broke out because da 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 da." You know, it's a list of information, list of events. I'm sorry, rather look at a big picture, right? So, however, that required a lot of work, a lot of thinking. I don't know yet. Okay, Naomi, I know you always were frank with me, and you're older a little bit. You have more freedom to speak out. What do you think of my teaching style? Everything
I think
good or
it's
bad? Good is not good, to me.
Good is not good
Especially a
enough.
student tell you it's good, you literally have to dilute it.
I
Okay,
think I don't think it's necessarily you
uh-huh.
that, like, because we've obviously had a little bit of struggle with the tests and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't
yeah.
think that was necessarily you. I think it might just be the way we're studying
you
things
study, yeah.
and what we use.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do feel like with what Elijah said, with picking one subject and being able to expand on
On
one
the
thing will
subject,
help us
okay.
not be all over the place.
That's good.
And
I
study
like
one
it.
thing,
I like
and
it.
I think testing will be
Yeah.
better.
So you and
And you'll have
Elijah,
more of a chance to
not
teach
really,
us on the, yeah.
not really.
Maybe
Because
you
I don't
will,
know any
because
subjects.
usually you're just going off the book
You
we're
know
reading, but
Chinese
can-
history though.
Yeah.
You want to
Even-
learn Chinese history?
Yeah, we could start off by doing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh man, seriously? I think that's a weird subject for American
Oh,
young
really?
people. So yeah, I have a lot to teach.
We have a lot to learn.
I read extensively Chinese.
I remember when we were younger, it was
You were
always fun
younger.
to like bring in the
Uh-huh.
different stuff they did in their culture. Like
Oh yes,
we
I
did-
remember
we did
your
some
day.
Chinese
Your mom was
stuff.
where
Yeah, we did, and we like sat out. on the
yeah,
table and sat on
different
pillows in front of the
cultures.
TV. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. That's why you wear a bone, I guess.
Yeah, we wear a bone.
Have that thing. Let me be that thing called the 崽子, 崽.
Oh,
Uh-huh. 崽子. Very interesting. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, make me feel bad. You thinking about you got like Chinese stuff. So,
why did that make you feel bad?
I don't want to falsely influence you. I think you need to be interested in other things, so, like a Spanish. You know.
Spanish.
Comment. Good teacher or not?
You are
Yes.
a teacher.
Good teacher.
Good teacher.
That means a bad teacher.
Great teacher.
You're an
You're-
amazing teacher.
Oh, there you go. That's terrible. So, yeah. Good. Comment on the way how I teach. You know, I want to improve the way how I teach you guys. I know others have different people have different teaching styles. You know,
Right.
based on the subject and the age gap, you have the depth. But I hope I give you guys enough time to. You know, firstly, this kind of is dumbed down, right? So narrowed by the information required. But I think in the future I would like like with the idea you guys propose here, so I can draw more out of you. You develop your own thoughts, evaluate your own thoughts, but have a more conversation going on. You know, so.
Right.
How that play out, I don't know, you know, how play it out. It depends on how you guys, how eager, how ready you participate, right? So in that light, I'm gonna evaluate things you do, right? So I agree, disagree, I think it's good, bad, or ugly. So, you know, I hope you guys prepare for that, okay? I'll say, that's not right. You don't get offended about it, okay? So I think that's brilliant, that's wonderful, you know, so. I want you to be excited about it, you know, so in that nature. Besides the teacher, what do you think about what they proposed? Are you ready for it?
Yep, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah? Why?
Because I think it would be
Mm.
kind of an easier way of just going over one subject.
Go and
Other
something.
than-
Yeah.
This is like kind of just a little bit about. all the
Yeah.
different
I was
stuff.
not because you can make the test.
definitely.
Okay. Definitely. Okay. That's the wrong reason. Never down to you.
I don't have any criticism.
Oh, you should have anything crazy. You should. This is today for you to. The only chance so far for you to criticize me. And I'm going to take it off. So go ahead. It's the only chance for you to offer some criticism. So. All suggestion, new method, to move forward with the direction going on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe of setting a certain standard. Maybe it
What a
maybe in our-
standard. Mhm.
well, in certain like essays or poems, like if we
Mm.
set a certain standard, like if
We can't
have,
do poems with history.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, but if we said like setting certain standards, like not. I'm trying to think of a way to explain it. Like if. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but maybe
Yeah, I have an
setting,
idea.
setting
Yeah.
certain standards to certain things, like
Mm.
history or writing poems or
What
I
do
essays.
you
think
mean by
that's-
standards?
That's what you were hard on me.
Oh well, I'm not
Mm.
saying that you're doing anything
Mm.
wrong.
Mm.
And-
I'm talking about to know the standard, enforce the standard would be very hard on me because I had to know. Most time I don't know the subject. Not necessarily I had to study with you, so maybe I'm not able to study with you, but I can manage the conversation, right? Manage what you study.
What he's saying is that he has to
Mm.
know the standards for them to be the standards, right? That's what you're saying.
Okay, explain. Expound.
Well, yeah, that's what you're saying, because Kayla said, I was saying about standards, and you were saying
Mm.
you need to know the standards for them to be there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I was just saying that.
Expound. Do you have any suggestions?
I
I'll carry it myself into this conversation. Be a good teacher for you guys.
I think,
What is the role I play? Imagine we have a topic here. We're talking Washington. Okay, you all did your research. You have your own things going on. This Washington, I have so many aspects, so many information out there. Right? It's a sea information. So by seeing the standard, what do you want me to carry out in your mind? Because there's something there. So tell me what that is.
I'm trying to think of like a way to say it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong.
No,
in a
no,
way,
no, I know.
But I'm just thinking about when we do our essays. You know how sometimes we will have certain words and stuff.
Mm.
And I try my hardest to sort of meet, like I tried to do 800 words this time, but it was really hard. So if we could set standard for like,
different
different
persons,
people.
different age. Mhm.
and I will try to meet the expectation.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Sometimes it's a little hard for me.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
like, if
I don't want-
well, I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
in poems, if we have 100 words to meet that expectation, or
Yeah.
if you want to give us less,
Yeah.
or like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know really how to explain that, but.
Oh, it's okay. I just think it's some can be hard. It's also because.
And I'm not saying, I'm not
you're-
saying just for me. Anybody
You're-
could be
yeah,
having a hard
absolutely,
time with
absolutely.
certain
I fully understand that. We have an age
Take a
gap
thing on
here.
the end of
It's
it.
realistic gap, So for me to enforce one standard, unfortunately, absolutely give the assignment. I had to give a particular assignment, So I gotta give many assignments. I'm gonna be a different teacher for everybody, So of course that is unrealistic. So what I did in the back head is that even lay out the assignment, I will try to adapt your age gap to where you are to accordingly to. But that unfortunately translated in the past maybe a grading and give a grade. But if we don't have the grade, it would be hard for us to give you a incentive, to see what's going on. In my grading the essays or poems, always I try to differentiate where you have been, so making that stand almost around. I know your level. I think you can do with that because you can do 8 is pretty good job, but you less than 8, okay, you may not try hard enough on your level. Okay, so, but that's arbitrary because I don't know. So your parents might be a better determine your level is. So for me, it's has to be a little bit arbitrary. In sense maybe not that accurate, but you understand my point. So with Naomi, if you write like you're writing, I'm gonna give you a 5. If you write her writing, I'm gonna say 12. So that's my point. She only have 8. So I'm joking. So you understand my point. I think that it is incorporated in. You should not take homework that extremely seriously, writing essays, especially or poems. Only gotta do a good job, hard invest in it. Don't cheat, right? So at the same time, don't take too hard on yourself. Kayla need to understand. Naomi is 5 years old. Hold. Oh, see, you can't beat that. But 8 years on road, you'll be do better than her. Must. Because you're with me, so. Right, Naomi? So that's expectation. So that's all. So, yeah. Now, evidently, this young man has a lot. You did a suggestion. What do you think we should carry on with that?
With what? What?
With
context?
the coming first, criticize my teaching style. The second is the new direction you want to go.
Well,
Suggestions.
I don't think I'm. I think I think the reason nobody's criticized you is because it's only really right to criticize you if we've taught before, in the sense that we would know what to criticize, but we haven't taught people, so
that's very good. Yeah.
we wouldn't know.
Yeah.
What we can see is that there's a difference in the way that you teach, and that from other people, because the learners can see in different ways that people
to
taught.
whom? You be talking about your parents?
Yeah,
Okay.
because all of us are homeschooled, and always have been, I believe. And then,
Is it a good thing or bad thing?
what?
The difference.
No, not a bad thing.
Okay.
It's the only thing is that it's the difference. And the way that you teach is different from pretty much a lot of people, and that's not a bad thing, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing to learn that different way,
Mm.
but only if we understand how you teach.
Yeah.
And I've had more of an opportunity to learn how you teach
through
because
Saturdays.
through Saturday
Yeah,
meetings.
yeah.
And I do, at first it was very confusing, and
Yeah.
that's good because I'm not only learning the subject that you're teaching, I'm learning how you teach the subject.
Things. Yeah.
And that can open up new doors to a lot of things. So
Mm.
I respect very much the way that you teach, and I don't have any criticism for it.
History is different subject.
Yeah.
Group
And I think for the
Mm.
history, we have been a little off and on with it,
Yeah.
and like a little scattered because
Mm.
because of the curriculum and some different things with testing.
Sure.
So some of it's been a little scattered,
Yeah.
and but I don't really know how to say for it not to be because I wouldn't know either.
I never teach history in this setting before.
So I guess we're all learning how to teach it in a better way. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't call that a criticism. I would just
No, it's wonderful.
just say what it
perspective.
is.
Yeah.
So,
Perspective. Yeah.
but-
What do you think I can do with the group setting to improve my way of teaching? To make them more attentive, feel more benefited by my teaching.
Well,
You already helped, with the new direction.
I feel like what we have now isn't really something that honestly doesn't really even need to be fixed.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of
The way it is. Huh?
the way we
Yeah,
have it is
yeah.
fine, and the way it's going is good because it's not
Okay.
staying where it's at. It's
Okay.
continually progressing as we.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this book. How many chapters left?
I don't think we got too many left.
I think it goes to like 50.
50?
50, I think.
50 chapters. Okay. 42. Ooh, only 2 chapters left, man.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're good to go. Yeah. So I can't wait. Oh, anything else, Elijah? I want to hear you more when you talk about the. Hey, how about open a subject? How about have a new subject? What do you think we should? I want you to speak more loud on that, more clear on that.
Well, I was only saying that because
This book,
this
not
is
continuously-
it's good, but it
Yeah.
doesn't go in depth.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
much.
Yeah, so you want.
And I feel
to
like
go
with the
in
way
depth.
that you like to teach is to actually learn something good
in depth.
in depth through it, and that's why we kind of sometimes in the little subjects go off and talk about something on that.
Okay. I've been actually talking to Noah the possibility. Here may be the good chance to present that to you guys. Saturdays I've been teaching on this book called Confucius Analytics. It was quite difficult in the beginning for
Mhm.
anybody engaged.
Mm.
But through the years we have developed some convention, right? So that's the time I was able to also. Most time is me talking. Me, I can talk. So, but sometimes I give for this young people some opportunity to feedback, want to hear how we resolve those information. But it's not a history book anymore. So we had off the subjects. I think that ask your dad. I think Elijah not directly asked you about those things yet, but here you can share a little bit of your impression. Is that helpful for you? Then discussion, then book, the discussion goes on. What I did is I tried to use that book as a tool on the platform to introduce some major wisdoms or cultural ways of life, then pair together with the biblical teaching. Jesus teaching, biblical teaching, try to enhance all God's wisdom actually have universal general applications. How to be a good brother, how to be a good son, how to be a good father, how to behave in a certain cultural way, carry yourself in a cultural way. Those things I think, in a sense, is absent to Western education these days. So nobody really teaches you how to be a good sister, right? Not really, except your parents will take the opportunity to tell you that. But as a subject matter, as a discussion with others, those matters seems as absent. Benji, would you agree with that? Have I ever anybody tell you how to be a good brother?
I've been.
Except the Bible teaching those things, So your parents may say, dress you. Oh, you should not do that. You should be a good brother.
Yeah.
In the negative context, right? So not the peaceful contest. I need to think about it. Then putting into practice.
Right.
So rather than when you have a problem, so because into
Yeah.
and how to honor your father, That's a huge topic in life, right? So yeah, we everybody carry on contest, but I think there are general, principle the way of doing that. So, are you guys interested?
Yeah.
Already. Okay. So young people is a boring topic. For him, it was boring. No was bored by it for the beginning as well. Right now, he's all attentive. I can speak teach you 2 hours. He's, oh yeah. He want to know more. So he changed. I tell you. If Elijah can change, everybody can change. No, I'm teasing him. Sorry.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. So that is, however, going to offset our topic. We don't really have to narrow down histories anymore. We definitely can do some history study as well. Continue on. Maybe that can open another subject. Besides reading poem, writing poem. Do you guys still want to do those things? Essay poems?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. I go continue. I think on the enlist maybe Noah's help, so for guiding that. Reason I'm mainly is that I'm not good English poem writer or essay writer myself, so it's more about the writing skills. I think Noah's we're much good with those things. So understand? Okay, I'll be participating. So. Okay, I'm going to open the conversation continually, think through my time as well. You got time commitment, right? So we're going to try to reinvite the whole spend time together as well. Saturdays, Mondays. Now you're going to come one day, so it's good that one day hard to spend, we might reward a little bit as well. Okay, so yeah, just for you guys to have more time to study and might go to school a little bit. I'm not exactly know what that look like yet. So I don't have a conclusion. So open discussion, speaking everything, brainstorm with you. Okay, Benji, what do you think?
About the whole thing?
About me, whatever, especially in terms of me. Am I effective teacher for you? Anything you think I can help you to grow? To make you more adaptive, whatever, or I know my English can be a little bit problematic. So yeah.
A lot of your teachings have changed the way I've thought about things.
Oh.
Definitely changed my mindset about learning.
Oh, okay. Can you give me an example?
Just like helping me to enjoy learning and to really,
Enjoy learning
yeah,
these days.
and not just read
yeah.
it and then be done.
Sure, yeah.
But I've definitely grew more excited.
Oh, yeah.
To school.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's
Yeah.
better.
I'm not sure everybody excited to go to school, so we're good. Yeah.
But
I never was
definitely.
excited when I grew up. No, I didn't meet a good teacher. If I were Elijah, that'd be great. So,
But yeah.
For what?
for a teacher.
What? I can't teach.
You're gonna teach, man.
I will.
You will teach.
Not yet though.
That's the point. My point. If you're gonna be a teacher, I hope I can be that student under you. Then I'll have a different life, right? So,
Yeah.
so you'll be a fun teacher, I believe.
I
Your
hope
dad
so.
is very good at teaching,
Oh,
right? Yeah. So it will be good to be a student to your dad. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not that good teacher. So you got the second tier teachers. Elaine is wonderful teacher. Elaine is very brilliant. Yeah. Everybody like Elaine. Me just, fill the gaps. Not true. Thank you. Sympathize with me. Okay. Are you gonna buy me lunch now? Okay.
Alright,
All
go for
right.
sushi.
Okay. No, we're good. Anything else about the new direction? Are you okay?
I like how we're doing school. I was just starting to get kind of used to the,
Yeah, use this. Okay.
but I definitely think that history.
Okay.
would be
Maybe
cool.
maybe you and Elijah get some private conversation on things. Yeah. Try it out. Just, It's a
Yeah.
good topic, So Naomi, you can take a lead to discuss with the young ladies what those means, So I want you guys to help one another. More than this on this table between us, right? So things top down things.